How do you, our panelists, think digital tools are transforming student learning experiences in the IB? And I may ask if Bea, would you like to take that one first?
Sure. So I think it's important for us as IB educators to use digital tools. And I think IB is a global curriculum. It provides students easy access. They can be connected with other IB schools. And when I talk about digital tools in the IB, it comes to my mind, especially the projects, the PYP exhibition, the personal project, extended essay, TOK essay, even CAS. So as a librarian, we tend to use those digital tools for them to help in their inquiry process. So sometimes they have prompts that they don't know how to analyze or to specify a little bit better what they're looking for. And those digital tools provides them to create products, create different questions. And I think, especially coming from a very inclusive school, the digital tools also provide students different ways to tell the teachers they are learning. So now they can showcase and show and tell in different ways that we had before in the traditional way of studying.
From the opinions of our panelists, what do you think some of the challenges are in terms of AI integration in the IB? And I'd be very specifically interested at the moment, before moving to other panelists, and hearing from Julia in terms of the PYP. Because we do have younger children. And what do you see as some of the challenges with children in the PYP using AI to support their inquiry?
A lot of the students that we have, they come in for their first years with their computers, and they're really excited to use them, and they're new to the device itself. Of course, we have been using them in the earlier years in the elementary school, but we usually share the computers, and it's, so it's their first time using their own computer. A lot of them come with tools like Copilot, for example, and so it's embedded into the software of our students. So one thing that we were very clear with all families in the beginning of the year is, first of all, we need parental controls on these devices, so that we're limiting a little bit, how much students can, open up toward the internet, because they're young children. And just like we wouldn't let them walk alone on the street with strangers, surrounding them. If we think about it, the internet is exactly the same thing. We're surrounded by strangers. We're surrounded by information that we don't know if we can trust. And so having this step has been something that we've been really going for as a community, and it's been one of the biggest changes that we've had in the last years here. When it comes to, let's say, just this pitfall of maybe like cognitive deficit, that we don't exactly have 100% of the data yet. I think that our biggest job as educators is being aware of this potential pitfall that we could go into.
So if we think about leadership's role in ensuring digital technologies are implemented effectively in schools, what do you think school leaders panelists should be thinking about we proceed and continue in this age of AI? What should be on their agenda in terms of a vision for the PYP, MYP, DP, or their school in general? And perhaps this time, may I say, Bea, would you like to address that first?
Well, as leadership, I think, and I feel very privileged to work in a school that actually provide resources and space and structure for that, because we do have an EdTech department here that focus and develops and look at those tools also as a way to provide the best. But I think professional development is a way to provide teachers a safe space to understand. We understand that there's a lot going on, and we are learning together. So teachers are learning with the students, and we have to think about the future and try to, and I think Julia was the one saying this, we have to already be stating or considering what is going on in those tools. So I think for leadership, providing a safe space and structure for professional development is very important, because in a way that if we prepare teachers and they feel comfortable regarding those tools and AI, then they can model this to students, because they're going to look at us.
What could be the danger of that? How could that impact critical thinking? And could it lead to cognitive deficits? So maybe, Pablo, would you like to start us off on that?
I think just like you told us, Laura, I think there's no a right answer for that question. I read somewhere, I think what it was yesterday, MIT developed some kind of study trying to find a cognitive deficit of using AI. So they can measure in the moment that students and also grown-ups are using some kind of AI tool, and they can compare with different activities with people that are not using an AI tool. So during the moments that people are using, when comparing to people that are not using AI tools, brain cells and brain stimulation, it's more effective in people that are not using AI tools. But the research, the answer that can give us is related to the moment that people are using AI. It's still not possible to say how it's going to be in a more long-term use of the tool, the AI tool. So I don't think we have this answer yet.
Combine the last two questions to make it a little bit simple, and we get into the notion of academic rigor and integrity. Within the context of AI, academic integrity is a real concern amongst educators, probably more with the older children, the MYP and DP, as they run their personal projects, and also the extended essay. But also in the PYP, when leading up to PYP exhibition, for example, there could be concerns about content that is simply copy and pasted without having been reflected on and thought about in a meaningful way for real life application. So if we think about academic integrity and the impact that IB has on that, if there's a question around academic integrity, do you think we could ever really truly measure the impact of AI when we're not quite sure we can rely on the information that our students are getting? And I think just Julia, you may want to go first on that one. Sure.
Here, I think what I mentioned before of having and designing learning moments that explicitly work with AI, I think that's the best way that we can actually measure the impact of AI on our earlier learners. Even with the older students as well, if we can limit the amount of time at which they're using it and using it in the classroom together with the teacher, I think that might be key. Because in that sense, we can have an example of student writing by hand and see exactly what their thoughts are, and we can compare that to, let's say, something that has been generated through AI, or let's say that it's been AI processed, so it's been used for correction or proofreading, or it's used to expand research further. So based on this, what are the questions that you would suggest? What questions do you have? I think that we can use it as tools in different parts, and just making sure that our teachers are designing these moments and not just letting AI take over the classroom.
Final thoughts, if you may, on academic integrity in the context of the IB.
Well, now I'm going to be talking more about my classroom experience before. I think talking to high school students regarding academic integrity, we have to find different ways to call their attention. What I used to do is like, well, guys, you are in the final track, you're in the final path of high school and school. Multiple of them are looking for university. So universities are also considering your digital citizenship. So everything that you do online is very important. They're going to keep a track on you. And also, this is not something that we are just telling you because it's easier for us to assign and assess whether you're using AI or not, but also we are trying to make you understand that for the future, when you leave school, is also going to be important. You're going to come across different discussions and more deeper discussions, more serious ones. So I think also a way for us to understand and to talk about academic integrity that I think is a culture from it.
We at Britannica have also entered into the age of AI. A lot of you remember us as Encyclopedia Britannica, 250-year history. We've gone from those wonderful, beautiful books on the shelf to solutions which are all online and a learning content management system. We too have had to keep up with the times. And so we have recently integrated AI into one of our main solutions called Britannica School. Britannica School is basically online encyclopedia Britannica. It is updated every single 20 minutes. And the information is a worry-free tool. And our AI tool is worry-free. There is no misinformation or disinformation, hallucinations, or bias. So IB educators who are using Ask Britannica in their classrooms tell us that because the information that the children are gaining by asking, higher order questions or even more simple questions, they don't have to spend as much time concerning themselves with search and sifting through information that may not be relevant. They're able to get at the heart of the information that they need. It's also enhancing the ATL skills, the critical thinking, the research, the self-management, because they still have to learn how to ask those pertinent questions. Another solution that is we're pilot testing at the moment, and we're inviting schools globally to engage in this pilot test of a solution for teachers. It's an AI-driven tool called Britannica Studio. And this tool, what it will do, it's aligned to the IB curriculum. And you can put any scope and sequence objective in there from the IB across all programs, any transdisciplinary theme, any line of inquiry. And what it will do is produce passages. So reading passages which can be leveled and differentiated to different skills and abilities of children. It will also have vocabulary tests. It will have assessment. So you can design assessments very, very quickly that can lead to more rather than recall, although it can be recall. You can put in questions that are related to problem solving and critical thinking. And in our version 2, which will be coming in spring, the AI-driven tool, Britannica Studio, will be able to produce lesson plans containing all the critical information that you would need, say, in a unit of inquiry, for example, or an interdisciplinary unit. So we're very excited about this, and we'd invite anyone here, if you would like to pilot test that, we'd be really happy to have you involved. And we also have another AI-driven tool called Hello Britannica, and that is a self-directed learning tool whereby children are acquiring English language skills within their classrooms or through self-directed learning. So we are having to move with the times. We are also talking to IB schools about how to manage impact, even when using our worry-free AI tool. What is the impact? How is it enriching knowledge? We're looking all of this and we're talking to our schools and they're saying they're extremely positive signs. Do we have all the answers right now? No, we don't. But we do have some solutions that we think can help in this world of AI and how to navigate it quite effectively.